This is a Babyzen Yoyo Plus, and today we wanted to make a comprehensive swapping out the ball bearings guide. The process on this is going to be the same for the Babyzen Yoyo, the first generation, in case you have that, by the way. We've made several videos before on how to disassemble the wheels and take out the ball bearings and what to do if they're stuck. So you can search our channel if you're having any trouble with like rusty ball bearings and the job has gotten more difficult than what we show in this video. But today we're going to make a comprehensive guide with both wheels, showing you how to get at the ball bearings and talking about the process of getting replacement ball bearings for the wheels. If you're having trouble with the ball bearings, it means like your wheels are loose. The back wheels will be loose, of course, this way, and in extreme cases may not lock via the brakes. In the front, when they get loose, the rubber has a tendency to rub up against the fork to the side, and of course loose ball bearings in general can make driving very unpleasant. Okay, we'll start out with the rear wheels then. For the first stage of the process, you will need a flathead screwdriver that is relatively thin, and you want to get it under this lip, the white lip of this wall here on the back, yeah? And you're going to just pop it. And once you get one of these pins off, you want to pull your way around to the next one. Pop that as well. You want to do this carefully so that those little like pegs or pins don't break. There are 3 of them, as well as 3 of these tubes that correspond with these holes. Now you can get at this screw. Okay, then we're going to unscrew this screw here. You need the CRVT30 head. It's one of those star-shaped, 6-pointed star-shaped heads. Just going to unscrew this screw. And then you can take the wheel entirely off of the axle. Okay, when it comes to the front wheels, you're going to need a second screwdriver, also with that CRVT30 head. The reason for this is that you have to hold in both of the screws on either side as you're unscrewing. So insert your 2 screwdrivers. Go. One side is just a screw, and the other is the axle that the screw goes into. And there you go. Okay, once you've removed the wheels, in order to get the ball bearings out of the wheels, you can take a screwdriver, just put it in the center of the ball bearing, and then just pry it loose. And both the front and the rear wheels have the same size ball bearing. So one of the reasons we wanted to do this video is that we noticed that even though we've done a video on how to find the correct size for your ball bearings, it's a little bit difficult with the Babyzen ball bearings because they don't actually have any information written on them. They're probably kind of custom produced for Babyzen, but you can find ball bearings online that will fit. So I'm going to give you the dimensions now. This is what's called a wide inner ring ball bearing. So that means that the race width is this dimension, sideways, is different between the outside and the inside. On the outside, the main portion of the ball bearing, or on the like inner portion of this, yeah, the main width of the ball bearing, in this case, is 5 millimeters, and there's an extra millimeter lip on either side. So this wide inner ring ball bearing has an inner race width of 7 millimeters. That might be a little bit difficult to find, but that's what it is. 5 on the outside, 7 on the inside. If you can only find the one that is not the wide inner ring ball bearing, that is fine, and I'll tell you what to do in a moment. As far as the rest of the dimensions on the ball bearing are concerned, this has an inner diameter of 10 millimeters, right? And an outer diameter of 22 millimeters. So 22 outer diameter, 10 inner diameter, yeah? And then 5 millimeter race width, wide inner ring, meaning that the inner ring is actually 7 millimeters. Now, again, if you have trouble finding the wide inner ring ball bearing, then what you can do is use washers, and that's really easy to do. It might not even be necessary if you're swapping out the ball bearings on the back wheels, as that screw that screws into the back axle can probably just screw in a little bit tighter into the ball bearing and it'll be fine. On the front wheels, it is a little bit more important because it's going to fill in that space between the ball bearing and the fork. So in that case, you just want to go to your hardware store and find a washer with the correct inside diameter here to fit around the axle, and then you can put one on either side of a flat as a non-wide inner ring ball bearing, and then your wheel will sit nice and tight inside there as well. Okay, then to put your ball bearings back in your wheels, you're just going to put it in, press down, and then we're going to reassemble these wheels. So I'm just going to position this within the fork, and then take that longer portion of the axle, the actual axle, and push it through so that it finds its way through all those holes. And then take that screw and get it a little bit started. And then screw it in nice and tight. There we go. Okay, then when it comes to the back wheel, just look at your two sides of the wheel. This side here is the inner facing. These are the teeth for the brake system. So you're going to put it in like this. Slot it all the way in. I suppose it is probably better to use a washer on the rear wheel as well if you can't get that wide inner ring ball bearing, because it will make a slight difference. Okay, screw that in nice and tight. And you're just going to take that outer wall, line up those 3 shafts, and then pop it back in place. And now you have reassembled both wheels with your fresh new ball bearings. So in any case, that is how you remove the ball bearings from both the rear and the front wheels of a Babyzen Yoyo or Yoyo Plus, how you find the correct dimensions so that you can order new ball bearings, how you put them in your wheels, and how you screw it all back together. We hope this video has been useful to you, and if it has been, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us continue making videos in the future. Thank you.